Hey guys, welcome back. I'm so sorry I haven't been posting. It's been crazy with finals and the holidays and work and all the things that happen in life. But we are back this week and let's go ahead and start off with a short video.
Go! Shoot! Fully loaded. One in the chamber, safety off. Go! Shoot the bad guy. Boom! I've been lied to.
Based off the video you just watched, you can probably tell that we're going to be talking about gun control today. There are your upbringing, there are many cultures, many different ideas and political opinions out there, and there's inputs and lots of things and people that you might hang out around that have shaped your view on this. Different videos on Instagram, and multiple different perspectives on this very tough topic. So I decided to go ahead and take a lot of the beef of the argument and go ahead and summarize it and condense it so it's not too long of a video so you guys can watch it and not get bored, and go ahead and talk about it. So a lot of the argument is reduction in gun-related deaths, such as homicides, suicides, accidental shootings, and mass shootings. So it is, the gun itself is an inanimate object. It cannot shoot. In the video you just saw, it cannot shoot. It is the person that holds it and the person that has a hardened heart towards other people and the person that has no remorse and possibly a mental illness that is the one that pulls the trigger. A gun cannot do that itself. Other ways, moving on to the suicide, there are other ways to commit, such as pills, doctor-assisted, police, hanging, and knives. And then there are other ways, moving on to the homicide, there are other ways that you can harm others. There's hand-to-hand combat, there are knives, suffocation, and there are even meds. And I consider drug dealers that deal fentanyl, I consider them killers, because you touch fentanyl, you're over, you're done, you're gone for the count, unless you're able to be resuscitated when an ambulance gets there. The next one is the prevention of mass shootings. So advocates believe that implementing stricter laws, such as banning assault weapons and high-capacity magazines, could reduce the frequency of mass shootings. Like we just discussed, the prevention would be having the mentally ill that do these things, having them locked up or put away, or getting them help, depending on how severe their mental illness is, just getting them help or locking them up at a psychiatric ward at your local hospital, getting them the help they need. America is a free country, and if you need the help, you can get the help. There are other resources out there. And I think that if our country did a better job of psychoanalyzing people, these wouldn't be an issue. Such as this happened 25 years ago. I was not born during this time, but I heard a lot about it, and I even watched a movie called I'm Not Ashamed. It was about a young girl, I believe her name was Faith, and she was involved in the Columbine tragedy. Eric Harris was classified as a psychopath, and Dylan, his partner, was classified with severe depression disorder. And if you don't know, those two boys are the ones that committed the Columbine tragedy. Tyler Robinson, the one with Charlie Kirk, is under mental evaluation with some traits of mental illness. They are trying to get him the plea of insanity right now, and some others are saying he was completely fine. You need to try him as a sane person. And that's still undergoing. Many school public event mass shooters have been diagnosed with mental illnesses and have pled not guilty by reason of insanity. I watch a YouTube content creator called Bailey Sarian, and her channel is called Murder, Mystery, and Makeup Mondays. So she does her makeup, and she also talks about a murder mystery that happened, solved or unsolved. Really cool. You should check her out. I love watching it and hearing all the cool stories, but I was cleaning my room one day, and I had the whole day off, so I was cleaning my room, listening to a bunch of hers, and I noticed a pattern. A lot of the people that had harmed others, don't really want to say that word on YouTube or my video might get taken down, went and pled reason of insanity. Like, they're not guilty by reason of insanity. And a lot of them, their tests and everything came back that they were mentally ill, or they had an underlying mental illness. So I believe that a lot of the people that commit these things have a mental illness and are considered psychopaths, and we need to do a better job as a country analyzing these people. And then protection of vulnerable populations. Gun control measures can help protect vulnerable groups, including children and victims of domestic violence. Laws that restrict access to firearms for individuals with a history of violence or mental illness aim to prevent these individuals from harming themselves or others. I will say, as we have these laws and everything in place, I have to say I don't know that we as a country are doing a good job of making sure that a gun does not get in the wrong hands. I will say, story time, that my dad and I, for Christmas one year, went shopping for my brothers, and they had been wanting a BB gun for so long, and so we decided to go get one for them for Christmas. I was with my dad, and my mom was at home with the boys. Super excited, daddy-daughter date night, went to go get these BB guns, and they also wanted bows and arrows, all the things. They're young boys. Of course they want this. So we were at Walmart, and we were getting it, and it took 2+ hours for my dad to get these guns over the screening. He had to hand over multiple different forms of identification and, all the things to make sure he was who he says he is and that they could hand it over to him. And it was a 2+ hour ordeal. It's a whole thing. And I think that's great, and I think that we should keep that to make sure it doesn't get in the wrong hands. But I also think that you should be psychoanalyzed, or a physician, or go to a therapist and get checked off by them, and they can be like, yes, he is or she is stable enough to own a firearm. Because I feel like if a lot of these people had gone to a place and gotten analyzed, people would be like, no, you can't have a gun. I do understand that a lot of young people grow up in a house with guns, and their parents own them, and they can just go and grab them, which is another thing. I think that the parents should do a better job of locking them up. My dad has a gun cabinet, had one as long as I can remember. All his firearms are in there, and it's a great big old green gun cabinet. I had it since I was a child. He always made sure that the keys, when we were younger, too short, was on a high shelf on a hook. And they were always there. They're still even there. And so when we were younger and we tried to get it, we couldn't, because we couldn't reach it. And by the time we could reach it, we were old enough to know you don't go in there unless you absolutely need to. Thankfully, we never had to, but that was the gun cabinet, and it was locked, and the keys were put away so young children could not get into it. And we were taught the correct way to handle firearms. Even to this day, I know how to hold one. I'll be at a friend's house, and they're like, hey, look at this cool, firearm I got. And I'm like, oh, that's so cool. And they're like, here, hold it. And I'm like, okay. And when they give me the gun, I know to hold it down and to look at it. And if I point it in any direction to kind of look at it and get it better, look up, make sure no one is around that I could possibly hurt. My dad taught me all of that. You always make sure that the safety is on. You always make sure that there is not a bullet in the chamber when someone hands it to you or is showing it to you. You step out of the line of fire. If someone's, just fooling around with it, you move away and you possibly take it away from them and say, hey, we should point it down. You do all the right things. And a lot of people don't grow up with that. The parents just have it in there, self-defense. They don't teach their kids how to properly handle a firearm, and that's how a lot of these things happen. Accidental shootings happen. And then gun control will not keep the innocent safe, but having a gun will keep the vulnerable innocent safe. Because the innocent and the vulnerable, if they don't have a gun to protect themselves, then when an intruder comes in with a gun, how are they going to protect themselves or their families or their children? What are they going to do? Take perfume and spray it in their eyes and hope it works? Take pepper spray, spray it? You have to get too close for comfort to have anything other than a gun in your face to protect. And I think that, it's just, I don't think this, it is proven that there are firearms that are being smuggled into this country and to any other countries. Probably not as easily, but there are firearms, there are drugs, everything that is being smuggled in. So the innocent, the ones that aren't using the guns for bad, are going to be hurt even more when the bad guys that are using the guns for evil and for harm smuggle it and they go illegally about getting it because obviously they do not care. So I think that even if we have these gun laws, we have drug laws. People are still getting their hands on them. We have traffickers, and we're smuggling children into this country. Perverts are still getting their hands on them. So no matter what we do, no matter what we smuggle into this country, they are going to get it. No matter what we do about the guns, people are still going to get it, and then the innocent are going to be hurt even worse because they won't be able to protect themselves. And this is considered a public opinion. Surveys indicate that a significant portion of the American public support a stricter gun law. For instance, about 73% of Democrats believe gun violence is a major issue reflecting a growing concern for public safety. If there are stricter laws or even a ban on guns, more innocent lives will be taken, what I just kind of went over. And like I just said, drugs are smuggled into the U.S., illegal firearms, and even children are being smuggled to be trafficked. If the innocent don't have guns for self-defense, who will defend them? How will they defend themselves? I think that right now we have a bigger issue in our country where we need to worry about the children being smuggled into the U.S. for trafficking before we worry about firearms. This is, as of right now, this is freedom that the Democrats are trying to take and the leftists are trying to take away from us. And this is the only way we can, protect ourselves. What are we going to do? Chop our hands off? Because choking's violent. That you can kill people that way. What are you going to do? Take our kitchen knives away? How am I going to cut a potato when I'm trying to make mashed potatoes for dinner? Am I just going to have to bang it up against the counter until it cracks? That'd take a lot longer than just having a knife. But, oh, wait, knives kill people. What am I going to do with my meds? If I need meds, oh, sorry, can't get on to morphine or any type of pill, even Tylenol, that you can overdose on. Can't get my hands on that because I have a terrible headache because, it kills people. The thing that you are trying to ban, yes, it can kill. And yes, it is a tragedy. And yes, it is awful. But also we need it for protection for ourselves. If we take away everything that kills someone, we're not going to be able to eat. We're not going to be able to make crafts. If you take scissors away, we're not going to be able to... You women out there that deal with menstrual cramps, forget it. We're not going to have any pain meds because you could overdose on those. So, all I'm saying is seriously stop and think about the freedom that you are giving up by allowing gun control in this country. I firmly believe that firearms can be used for good and can also be used for bad. And we need to be smart and to teach our young generation coming up how to properly use a firearm and to stand up for this freedom. And that it can be used for good and it can be used for bad. But if we let the right people have guns only, a lot of this wouldn't even be an issue. So, thank you guys for coming to another video of Meg Renee Debates. I hope I gave you some good food for thoughts. If you disagree, you can comment or you can message me. But I hope you guys have a lovely, lovely week. And hopefully I will see you guys back next week. Love you all.